So my friend Mark calls me earlier today, and he is a subscriber to this channel, and I love the conversation that we had because he called me and said, Richie, I watched your video about the 5 areas on which I find my biggest inspiration: the physical, the emotional, the intellectual, the social, and the spiritual. And he said, I think I'm pretty sure that I am social and spiritual. And then he asked, but what do I do now? And I love that question because it's a moment where he stopped and really thought about the topic at hand and really asked himself, what do I do with this information? And so the fact that these topics are drawing thought-provoking ideas in your life is something that I am so grateful for. So Mark, thank you so much for that conversation. Today we're going to talk about the non-essentials of living your life's highest purpose. And if you like this topic, leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We find ourselves in that week between Christmas and New Year's, and it's like the black hole. Nobody knows what's going on and nobody knows what to do. We're coming out of anticipating a holiday where there's gifts, there's food, there's family, there's friends, and we're moving into a day where we're going to celebrate a new beginning to a new year. And so a lot of people are looking at resolutions and goals and vision boards and storyboards on what they want their 2022 to look like. And so our life's purpose is a lot like building a statue. Yes, a statue. And you're the sculptor. And I love what Bruce Lee says, because we all think of statues when we think of Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee says, in building a statue, a sculptor doesn't keep adding clay to his subject. Actually, he chisels away at the non-essentials until the truth of his creation is revealed without obstruction. And so in this week between Christmas and New Year's, I encourage you to do a little bit of work and get pen and paper and write down an inventory of your life and really be honest with yourself around the non-essentials in your current life. And so take inventories, take stock and trade of this last year, and start to ask yourself, what are things that I don't want to bring into my next year? And I would encourage you to invite a friend around this topic, or get a group of people on this topic and start to share with one another. You know, I'm part of a community where doing an inventory is mandatory. Doing an inventory of our life and talking about our resentments, our fears, our failures, our mistakes is so essential. And out of that inventory, we start to find defects of character, things that are blocking us from living our life's best life and our highest purpose. And we start to discover things about our internal being, our characteristics and our attributes. And we start to replace those defects with some assets, right? Like being selfish, and then turning that into an asset and start being selfless, or being humble rather than being entitled, or being generous rather than being greedy, right? Or being brave rather than being afraid. You know, there are so much great things to discuss when you write down an inventory and you share it with somebody that you trust. And so this is a community where we want to see each other succeed. And we want to see ourselves live our best life, all while helping and building the next life. And so I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much again, Mark, for that conversation earlier. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how encouraging that is to me to know that you are having some great thoughts around the topics that we're having. So guys, I appreciate everything, and I look forward to talking about this stuff with you in the future and going into the next year with a purpose-driven life. So until then, be blessed.